It is Wednesday. That means it's time for you to get over the hump. Time for you to get some motivation and inspiration for your everyday life. Welcome back to the G Code. I do not take you coming back and listening lightly. I appreciate you so much. In the words of my pastor, where there is membership, there are privileges, right? So why don't you go ahead and sign up to be a part of the G Code by subscribing right here on iTunes, also right here on SoundCloud, on YouTube, and to ensure that you are a part of the G Code community. So it's very, very simple. Sign up and don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope. What else is there? Pinterest, all things social media at ADRI.V, the Go Getta. You never know if you can catch a glimpse of where I am, what I got going on, and my featured go-getters inside the G Code. So my featured go-getter today is a young woman that I consider my shero. She is such a dope girl. And at the age of 9, I believe, she decided to turn a suggestion into a reality, a thing that she loved to put on her lips, into creating her own product, and just because her dad suggested it. So go ahead and listen to the G Code with my girl, Miss Zandra of Zandra Beauty, and I'm telling you, you will be inspired to get up, get out, and turn your dreams into a reality. Welcome to the G Code. Hey, what's up, my go-getters? It is me, ADRI.V, the go-getter, and welcome again to another episode of the G Code. So with me, I have this phenomenal young lady, and in my head, she is my shero because she is really doing major things for such a young age. And not only did she take an idea and turn it into a reality, but she is living out her dreams on a daily basis and still under the age of 18. So welcome to the G Code, my girl, Miss Zandra. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. So, before I even get into telling your story, I'm going to allow you to do so. So tell the folks exactly who you are.
Well, I'm Zandra. I'm the CEO and founder of Zandra, which is an all-natural skincare line that I created when I was 9 years old. The idea actually came from my dad. When I was 9 years old, I had a strong passion for lip balm. That every day before he would go off to work, I would ask him if he would buy me new lip balm. So when he got tired of me asking, and of course he said, I'm not going to keep buying lip balm anymore. Why don't you just make your own? And he was just joking, but I actually thought about it. How did I actually make lip balm? What goes into it? And I took the idea to my mom and started researching, watching YouTube videos. And the following year, she enrolled into a kids business program. And from there, I've been working as my product. I have 36 products and 5 different scents. I do workshops and things like that. And 10% of my proceeds is given back to girls' education because my business is a vehicle for change. So my main message of the whole business and why I do it is to go back to girls' education because that's really what it's about and what it's for.
That is awesome. Now, at 9 years old, you took something somebody said plainly serious. Now, when you decided to make your own lip gloss, were you really thinking you can do this?
Yes, and yeah, it's kind of, when you actually see people doing it on the YouTube videos, it's kind of different than actually doing it. So it was kind of like, wow, I'm really going to do this.
Yeah. And what's beautiful is that you had your mom who really believed and pushed your dreams. And do you think that really was a game changer?
Yeah, I think it really was. Since she was so supportive and actually was really open to the idea of actually trying something new and doing something that neither of us ever thought of doing. So
now let's talk about the fact that like you just said, you're a CEO and you're what, 16 now?
15.
You're 15. Oh my goodness. Well, I say 16 because I remember you having like this huge birthday party, so I thought it was your sweet 16.
Oh,
so
yeah,
so you're still 15, and you are CEO, where some people are still working for other CEOs. So how does it feel to be in such a position where you're really creating and branding your own product, and running with it? Because you're really doing big things with it.
Thank you. I feel really good about it, and I'm excited that our world is changing and that teenpreneur is getting to be more of a big thing than it was. So that's good.
Now, when we talk about teenpreneurs, now how many other teenpreneurs do you know, like teen entrepreneurs and people who decided to take something they were passionate about or enjoyed purchasing, like you with lip gloss, and creating a business?
I know many people throughout my years of actually being a business owner. I've met with Gabrielle.
She does the jewelry, right?
Yes, Gabrielle Williams.
I remember her.
There's so many, I can't even think of all the names, but also working with Gabrielle, I was a part of her mentoring program, and I met so many different teenagers that want to start a business or have already started their business. So that was cool listening to them and hearing their stories of why they want to do this and what their passions are and things like that.
That's awesome. Now, as a teenager, because you are a teenager and you started your business before you were even a teenager, you know, I talk about the pretty, the ugly, and a grind to success, right? And there's so much work that goes into being successful. You know, we see the Instagrams, Snapchats, people looking like they're really just having great times, and we see your product, your finished product, but nobody knows, you know, we'll say the ugly, you know, when you really have to manage your time and put in work or sacrifice going to an event and hanging out with your friends. What do you feel like were some of the difficult times of you building your brand and being young and deciding, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
Well, definitely the ugly times would have to be more so in the beginning of the business and getting the hang of, like, I'm a CEO now, and there are some times that I have to sacrifice being with my friends and stuff like that, and some days I'll just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I have to remember why I started and why I actually wanted to do this and what drove me to keep doing it. So I have to, time management definitely was basically a struggle, because I would have to sacrifice going to an event rather than getting my friends and things like that. So
now, was there ever like a time you can think of, like, seriously, an event that you really wanted to go to with your friends, or a thing you wanted to do with your friends, but you had to work on your product and it really tore you apart?
Yes, it would have to be my friend. She was having her birthday party, and everybody who I knew was going, and everything was all planned, and then I had this big opportunity to go to a event where I knew like a big can't remember who it was, but somebody was gonna said that they were gonna come check me out at this event, and it was a big deal. So my mom was like, okay, well, you have to go, and I was just like so mad. I didn't want to go.
I'm sure you did. You wanted to be at your friend's birthday party,
right?
Now, what about your friends? Because I'm sure you have some friends that were with you from the very beginning. You probably used them as test dummies, right? And and so how did they take to you deciding to commit your time in this area? And did you lose some friends along the way? Because sometimes that's a part of the ugly to success, when you have to focus your time in on, you know, the product and the thing that you're looking to build, and spending the time with your friends or family is a thing sometimes that's sacrificed. And some people don't get it and some people do. And, you know, some people you outgrow and they go their separate ways in the midst of, you know, not really understanding and grasping the dream that you have. And were there ever any friends that you're not as close with, or may have lost along the way of you trying to build?
I haven't really had any friends that I've outgrown, but you can definitely determine like who your real friends are and things like that. And they had to understand that, of course, it was kind of like really weird, and they kind of like new to it, like you can't come because you have to go where, like things like that. So, but then they actually, once I kept telling them and they realized how serious I was about what I wanted to do, they were like, okay, and they understood when I can't be at places and why I miss school and things like that. And now they come to my events, they support me, and yeah.
Now, when we speak about girls' education, and I believe you're a freshman now in high school, right?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore now? Boy, oh boy, you just keep growing. So you're a sophomore now in high school. You know, how do you get, like, is all the girls in your high school, you're like pushing for them to buy your products? Are they rocking your lip balm, using your lotion? Like, how is this being in high school and having a product that is dedicated and catered to your peers?
Oh, it's so cool. Everybody does order for me, and with the lip balm and everything. And even the teachers are so fun.
That's fun.
Actually, yeah, it was. So I was just like a funny story, but everybody has lip balm. I was recently a part of a contest, the Girls Life contest. I was 4 out of 413 entrepreneurs in America, and they chose me, and I was like one of the finalists. And like you had to vote every 30 seconds.
Oh yes, I was voting. I remember that.
He had like 3 weeks and things like that. So to motivate the girls, I handed out lip balm, and like what they had to do was just like take a picture, and like it was like the day like of the last day to vote, so I like handed them lip balm and said like you have to take a picture and post and say, are you voting? Because I am, and like things like that, and tag me in it. And then that really like inspired them, everybody to do that and stuff like that. So even the teachers, everybody has lip balm.
That is such a great marketing tactic. And now that they use it, they're going to have to purchase again, because I purchased mine and it is my favorite lip balm, the one with the mint, with the mint in it. So like I don't use Blistex anymore. I don't use Carmex anymore. I use Zandra.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. And so I know you went into rebranding your product, because I remember it was Azariah Innocence. And so what made you make an executive decision to rebrand your product and name it after yourself?
Well, during that period of time, that was kind of like after I finished the kids business program. Like I grew out of that, so there was kind of like, what is there? And there was like a gap. So like I was really getting involved in programs. One of the programs that I was able to be a part of was the UB Women's Minority Program. Mm-hmm. And I was 13 then, and I was like the youngest one to be accepted into that program.
Oh wow!
I was like in a room. I had to take classes and things like that. And actually, the mentor that they gave me, that's the class, she had a background in design and things like that. So she took a look at my packaging and labels, and she said, well, first she asked me, like, where do you see Zandra, and, like, what do you want to focus on, and things like that. And I told her about girls' education, and because part of that process, that's when I got involved with the Day of the Girl and things like that. So I told her that's what I want to do. So she said, you might want to think about changing the name. And when she said that, I was like, why? For what? Mm-hmm. And she was like, I was like, oh gosh, I cannot believe she wants to change her name. So that was kind of like a big step, and we actually had to think about it, like what looks good in small print, what looks good in large print. You got like tons of things you have to think about, like the print and the font and things like that. And so we kept asking more people and put it in groups and like group names and things like that. And a few months later, I went on a cruise, and a masterminding cruise, and came up with some ideas, and 2 months later, Zandra came.
You know, I think it's funny. So, it's similar. Have you ever read the book The Alchemist?
No, I haven't.
Well, make sure you get it. It's a good book, because it reminds me of your story that, you know, what you were in search for was always right there.
Right. It really was.
It was your name the entire time, and you're trying to figure out what works and how does this work. But, you know, I think it's a beautiful thing now that you've been able to rebrand and make it more of your own. So, you know, when we think about the grind and the success, you know, what are the next steps of what where you plan to take Zandra, and what have you done so far to really kick it out once you change the name over?
So for the next, I'm going to do two, for like short term and long term. So for the for long term, I really want the brand to be bigger, and so like I would just really want to keep working on building my brand and the philanthropic part.
Yes.
Because philanthropic part, because that's what Zandra's made for, and it's all about Zandra, and it's all about girls' education and giving back to the community and to the world, basically. So I want my brand to be bigger so that I can inspire more lives and about teenagers to spread my word and do more workshops and speaking engagements and just traveling. That's really what I want to do. So I don't know about college yet, but I know I want to go, but I don't know if I want to go yet. So that's like my long-term goal. But the short-term, I would have to say working on the college are coming up, so I'm hoping that will be bigger and I get more wholesale accounts, and really just pushing the brand and doing more workshops and teaching people DIYs and sugar shrimp class. And people can go to my website, ZandraBeauty.com, and click the link under workshops, and yeah, that's really what's happening next.
So it sounds like you have a pretty solid plan of how you're going to phase into your short-term and long-term goals. But, you know, when it comes to reaching those goals, I'll say, what are some ways that you keep yourself focused? You know, you are a teenager, you do have friends, and you are trying to balance it all. So what are some things you use to try to balance it all, and how difficult has it been, and, you know, how great has it been for you in the position you're in?
Well, it definitely has been much easier as throughout my journey. But for right now, it's getting to the point where it's not so chaotic and things like that. So my mom, she's my manager, so she makes sure everything's in place and everything is organized. But also connecting and being in groups and things like that, being open to new ideas and events and things like that, that's kind of where that takes place. And connecting with people is so important, because if I haven't connected with any of the people that I am today, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I think connecting is a big part of why I'm so organized and so much more out there. Makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, as a teen, and what are some words of advice that you would give to other teens who one day want to have their own or to be an entrepreneur? What are some advices that some words of advice that you can give them?
I would say that if you've already started, doing great, and it does take hard work and sacrificing, but it pays off so much in the long run. And if you ever feel like you can't do it anymore, or you don't want to do it, or it gets too hard, just always remember why you started and just have fun with it.
I love it. So what are the reasons why you started? Because you mentioned that one before, and I just want to make sure that it's very clear to anybody that's listening. I
started because my dad refused to buy me a lip balm, and I didn't take that no for an answer, and I used it to open my eyes to something different and new. So
I loved it, not taking no for an answer. Now, of course, you're inside the G Code, and here we love this is your chance for you to drop your codes to success. So if you could just give us 3 codes that you live by that you feel has helped you to become a success, share it with us.
3 codes. 3 codes is to stay grounded, always have a plan, and to have fun.
Have fun. That's what it's about. And do you think you're having fun doing what you do?
Yes, I do. Yes. It is a lot of fun.
That is so good. Well, Zandra, I appreciate you for coming and being inside the G Code with us. And, you know, I want you to leave.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You know, I said you're my shero. You inspire me and motivate me to continue to push and build my brand. So, you know, as you shine, you ignite others to do the same.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Now, I want you to give them your website and share with us all the stores or any vendors that Zandra is in, and how everybody could get their hand on some dope lip balm and all the good stuff that you offer. And share with us your products.
Okay, I'll be happy to. So my website is at zandrabeauty.com. People can order and log into and register for classes and things like that. But my social media is all at Zandra Beauty. I have Twitter, basically any social media outlet. But I'm also I'm all spread out through Buffalo, New York. So I'm on Elmwood and Renew, Bath and Body. I'm on Allen Street in High Class Hair. I'm in Elam Christian Fellowship in their boutique. I am in South Buffalo at Buffalo Door, and also Buffalo Door has a new location on Main Street. So I'm down there too, and I believe got it.
Well, I just love to see that you are getting it, making it happen, and turning your dreams to reality. And can we expect a Zandra Beauty store one day of your own?
I hope so. I can see it.
I can see it
but
too.
For right now, I'm focused on wholesale accounts. So.
Absolutely. I can see you're the next Carol's daughter.
Hope so.
It is so. Well, again, my go-getters, make sure you follow, subscribe, check her out, order. I'm telling you, the lip balm with the mint. What is that one called, Zandra? I love that one.
For the Love of Mint, it's my favorite too.
Oh my gosh.
For the Love of Mint.
I love how it makes my lips feel, especially when I put it on and then it's like cold outside. It just makes it tingle.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best thing ever. So I suggest you get that. That is an ADRI.V's favorite. But make sure you get and support her in all her other products that she has as well. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at all things ADRI.V, the Go Getter. Check out the G Code on SoundCloud, YouTube, as well as iTunes. If you have an iPhone, you can definitely download the podcast app. It's all there. And if you Google ADRI.V, the Go Getter, the G Code will pop up. As always, Zandra, again, thank you so much. And to my Go Getters, welcome to the G Code.